As war looms in the Persian Gulf, security in the nation's capital is being beefed up to counteract any possible terrorist activity. Extra guards are now posted at the White House. More and more government employees are being asked to show their ID cards when they come to work, and security is now extra tight. And you notice that if you've been to the airports around this country in the last couple of days. Now, if America does go to war with Iraq, Saddam Hussein has threatened to strike back at Israel first. ABC's Ted Koppel is in Amman, Jordan, and last night on Nightline, he talked with Israel's defense minister about the U.S. efforts to coordinate war plans with Israel.
You know that Israel and the United States have a long-standing friendship and program of meetings, strategic cooperation agreement, and I think that you should see Eagleburger's visit here really as part and parcel of those meetings that we hold quite frequently and, of course, quite naturally at the present time.
I am, as you know, in Amman, Jordan, and the military here has been put on the highest level of alert. The number of Jordanian troops in the Jordan Valley facing the Israeli border is the highest that it has been since the 1967 war. Does King Hussein or the Jordanians have anything to worry about from Israel?
He has nothing to worry about from Israel. I think he knows that. We are aware of the fact that his army is on alert. We are aware of the fact that they've taken up positions, or much of the army has taken up positions in the Jordan Valley. If they don't take any action against Israel, then they have absolutely nothing to worry about.
When you say they have nothing to worry about, are you also giving an assurance to King Hussein and the Jordanians that Israeli warplanes would not overfly his country in the event that it was necessary for them to undertake any action against Iraq?
I'm giving him absolute assurance that we shall take no offensive action against Jordan, either on the ground or in the air.
That was an elegant evasion, Minister, but what I asked you was simply whether you would overfly.
That is the assurance that I'm ready to give, and I think King Hussein is fully aware of it.
Parts of an interview last night on ABC's Nightline broadcast. Across America, protesters now out there praying for peace and chanting against war. Outside the United Nations in New York City, they held a candlelight vigil last night. In Washington, protesters gathered in the park across the street from the White House. And in San Francisco, they held a Vietnam-era style demonstration on the Golden Gate Bridge. And finally, there has to be some good news here to tell you about. Lighter note at least. Well, there was a group of students expressing their support for troops in the U.S. in the Persian Gulf at Utah's Hill Air Force Base. It's not a snowman, it's a snow camel, complete with a helmet and a yellow ribbon around its neck. It was built by members of a business club at a local university. That is our report for this half hour. Of course, ABC News is monitoring the situation in the Persian Gulf very closely. Details as they emerge. I'm Mike Schneider, and this is ABC's World News This Morning. There's more news straight ahead.
A presentation of ABC News.
America's watching ABC.
Stress on the home front today at 10 on Milwaukee's Talking.
From Channel 12, your 24-hour news service, Milwaukee's #1 early morning newscast, with David Davis, Sally Severson, and the Channel 12 news team. This is Channel 12 First News.
Good morning and welcome to First News.
And thank you for joining us. It's Tuesday, January 15th.
In the news this morning, a new peace plan on the table, this one from France, and the largest deployment yet out of Wisconsin going on this morning. We'll have those stories and more.
And we have our rush hour weather for this morning. Tells us about clouds. We're going to be seeing those clouds and temperatures in the low 30s early this morning. At this hour, we have 32 degrees and cloudy skies. And then for this afternoon, cloudy skies remain with us. The temperatures in the mid-30s. We'll see a daytime high today, David, of 37, maybe 38 degrees. Looks like a little bit of light snow heading our way late tonight, and for tomorrow we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
The latest news concerning the Gulf this morning comes from the United Nations. A Security Council met into the early hours and will reconvene in just a short while to consider a French peace plan. The plan is 6 parts. It would make Iraq start withdrawing troops, but would promise an international peace conference on the Middle East. The U.S. does not support the plan. Meanwhile, the clock keeps ticking. The UN deadline for Iraqi withdrawal is still midnight tonight, or 11 o'clock Milwaukee time. Certainly, all of us are concerned about what will happen before the day is over, but no one could be more worried than families with loved ones in the Gulf. Dennis Dean is with one such family this morning, and he joins us now from New Berlin. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Dave. I'm with Kathy Martin, who has 2 sons in the military right now, both in Saudi Arabia. Her oldest son, Stephen, has been in Saudi Arabia with the United States Army, the 101st Airborne. for about 3.5 years with Airborne in Saudi Arabia just recently, and her 23-year-old son, John, seen down in the corner of this photo in the inset, has been with the United States Air Force for the past 2 years, and both, as I mentioned, son Stephen and son John are in Saudi Arabia right now. Good morning, Kathy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
As we proceed closer and closer to this deadline, this has to be a very, very anxious moment for you.
Yes, it is. I'm very concerned. I'm really sorry that the peace talks have not gone like everybody had hoped. However, I'm still hoping and praying that some peaceful solution can be made of all of this rather than going to war.
The French are proposing a possible solution, withdrawal by the Iraqis from Kuwait if there's an Arab-Israeli forum to work out difficulties there. And it appears as though the United States is going to reject that outright, and I'm wondering how you feel about something like that.
I would hope that the President would accept any type of proposal or would look at totally any type of proposal for peace. I don't think one life is good to lose in this type of situation.
Quickly, kind of a one-word answer. Yesterday, Senator Sam Nunn, who's been opposed to fighting in the area and wants to continue economic sanctions, stood up and said, "I am now behind the President." Is this the time for that?
Well, I know that my sons know what they're over there for, and they're willing to do their job. I'm sure that they would rather that this whole thing come to a peaceful solution.
Kathy, thank you very much. We'll come back and talk with Kathy again and a third son in about half an hour, Dave.
All right, thank you, Dennis. Dennis Dean reporting live from New Berlin this morning. A family from Manitowoc is facing much the same situation as Kathy Martin. They have 2 sons on duty in the Gulf right now, but Ron and Barb Brandel say that's not right. They've started a petition in Manitowoc County saying the government should not send more than 1 person from the same family into a potential war zone. They've also circulated their petition in Green Bay. The biggest deployment yet of a Wisconsin Reserve unit is in the air this morning with the 44th General Hospital Reserve. Last Friday, some 650 members left Madison heading to Fort McCoy. Well, about 4 o'clock this morning, they left for Germany, where they'll be working in military hospitals. The 44th is based in Madison, but has many members from the Milwaukee area. The growing tension is also being felt by local people who once lived in the Gulf region or still have family there. Frederica Runge has that story.
While the world waits and watches as preparations for war unfold, some in the Milwaukee area are watching with a whole different perspective.
My family is in Egypt and they are scared. How about right in Baghdad?
Mohsin Saeed is originally from Cairo. He is the chairman of the Milwaukee branch of the Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee. He worries bigots will blame all Arabs for one madman.
I think they should realize that we are human beings. We are Americans. I don't want to see any American come back in bags.
As Peter Jennings tries to help Americans understand the Mideast region and the reasons for war, some understand only too well.
The Egyptian military troops that are right on the front line, and behind them are the Americans and other troops.
Troops likely to see action if 11th-hour peace efforts don't pan out. Frederica Runge, Channel 12 News, Milwaukee.
People who don't want to see a war today are making their voices heard. Peace vigils and rallies are being held in Madison, Racine, Waukesha, and in Milwaukee. This rally was held in downtown Milwaukee last night in front of the Royce Federal Plaza. An estimated 1,500 people turned out to march and carry signs. The rally was organized by members of Operation Orange Ribbon in the Milwaukee area. News this morning. Today is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Observances are planned throughout our area, especially in schools. Mayor John Norquist will host a King Day celebration this morning at 10:30. That's at the Pabst Theater. Also in Milwaukee today, the dispute between Greyhound Bus Company and its workers moves to the courtroom. An administrative law judge will hear a complaint that Greyhound illegally fired many striking workers and used threats against those who struck the company last March. Greyhound has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Well, I'll have more in the forecast when we come back and a traffic check.
Also, tornadoes hit Texas overnight. We'll show you those coming up.
for 4 days only. It's Jack Safro's 8th annual sale at the Waukesha County Expo Center with select used cars, trucks, and vans for as little as $99 down and $99 a month. You pick the car, you pick the payment. Over 300 vehicles to choose from, all clearly marked. Fords, Chevys, Dodges, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, Mitsubishis, Toyotas, and more. Domestics and imports. So follow the searchlights to the Waukesha County Expo Center and save during the 8th annual Jack Safro Used Car Expo sale. Sale ends this Saturday.
Not long ago, getting a drink was Tom's only goal. But today, as a youth league basketball coach, he's helping kids reach their goals. People with alcohol or other drug problems can be helped and go on to contribute something positive. So don't lose hope. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
This is me, Lauren Scott, before Nutrisystem. And this is me now. I've lost 70 pounds, and I'm loving it.
You've seen how Nutrisystem works for other people. Well, now's your opportunity to lose weight and save money, too. For 3 days only, Nutrisystem is offering half off their basic $79 program. Now lose all the weight you can for only $39.50. Call now for this special 3-day offer. There's a right way to lose weight. Nutrisystem, 1-800-321-THIN.
The January 15th deadline coming up. Are the troops prepared for America's next move in the Gulf?
Our guests will include Admiral William Crowe on Good Morning America next.
On the next Inside Edition, for 30 years, this town had a secret.
But I'll never forget it. I'll never want to forget it.
The unthinkable might have been stopped.
Teachers who did not act when reports came to them should have acted.
On the inside, it's a whole different story.
Tonight at 6:30 on Channel 12.
8 minutes after 6 o'clock, 32 degrees out. A special good morning to the folks at Divine Savior Holy Angels High School. Our salutes spot this morning. And to their credit, some 95% of all graduates end up going to college there. It's a great figure.
Good for them. Our weather for today looking pretty good. Temperatures are going to be on the mild side. We're going to be seeing cloudy conditions, though. Stay with us through the day and through the next couple of days. And yes, we do have a little bit of snow in the forecast as well. You know, typically for this time of year, daytime highs in the mid-20s. At this hour, 32 degrees already, well above normal. Dew point temperature 29, relative humidity 89%. Our winds are west at 3 and the pressure 29.96 inches of mercury. It's rising. Temperatures holding in the 30s over most of southeast Wisconsin at this hour. Sheboygan has 33, Racine and Kenosha with 32 and 34, West Bend 31, and Waukesha with 33 degrees. Today's weather over the United States, well, a soaker over most of the lower Mississippi Valley. There will be some travel delays over the lower Mississippi Valley. Today we've got spotty shower activity over the Pacific Northwest and just some very light snow over the eastern Great Lakes. Here's the close-up, or the satellite picture, and you can see the bright white clouds centered around a storm system that may be affecting our weather a little bit later on tonight. When we add the features, what we have now is, well, we're feeling the waning effects of a very weak area of low pressure, but it is strong enough still to keep us in clouds. The clouds won't be moving out from this storm quickly enough to allow any sunshine, because we're going to start to see the clouds moving northward from the storm system centered over the Gulf. This is a storm system responsible for some tornadoes in Texas during the overnight hours and severe weather late yesterday and overnight. The storm system is forecast to move to the northeast. Now, as it does so, it's going to be spreading those clouds in, and a chance for light snow for us late tonight and light snow for tomorrow. Now, at this point, it looks like we're just going to be seeing a couple of inches from this storm system. However, a minor change in the storm track could mean that it may miss Wisconsin altogether, or it could mean we could see more snow than this. At this point, though, looking like we're going to be seeing a couple of inches of snow by tomorrow, the storm system moving off into the Ohio Valley. So the Weather Service 12 forecast then for the rest of today, cloudy skies. We'll see a daytime high of about 38 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. For tonight, a 60% chance for snow late, our low 31. And taking a look at tomorrow, a 60% chance for snow at this point, looking like a couple of inches. Our high tomorrow around 37, so we could be seeing the snow mixed with rain at times. And the trend, variable cloudiness. We'll see some clearing maybe Thursday afternoon, then some more clouds come in for Friday and Saturday. Temperatures, though, easily remaining into the 30s, maybe even 40 by about Sunday.
Ooh, could get slushy by Sunday.
Definitely slushy.
Time to check traffic conditions now with Kim Wazalewski. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning, and we're off to a great start. We have no accidents or disables to report. 43 southbound's an easy ride from the North Shore area. 94 eastbound's light from Brookfield into the Marquette, and freeway
Airborne.
John with the Air Force.
They do know what their job is, and they're over there to do it.
They believe the odds of avoiding war are now quite long.
101. It's kind of
pretty long shot.
Long shot.
I hope that there is a peaceful solution, yeah, but I don't want to get a call.
Dennis Dean, Channel 12 News, New Berlin.